Of course, I'll not recite the whole. Where to begin? For it's all so magnificent. They tell us we are weak, unable to cope with so formidable an adversary. But when shall we be stronger? Will it be the next week or the next year? Will it be when we are totally disarmed and a British guard shall be stationed in every house? Shall we gather strength by irresolution and inaction? Shall we acquire the effectual means of resistance by lying supinely on our backs and hugging the delusive phantom of hope until our enemy shall have bound us hand and foot? Sir, we are not weak if we make a proper use of that means which a gracious God of nature hath placed in our power. 3 millions of people, armed in the holy cause of liberty, and in such a country as that which we possess, are invincible by any force which our enemy can send against us. Besides, sir, we shall not fight our battles alone. There is a just God who presides over the destinies of nations, and who will raise up friends to fight our battles with us. The battle, sir, is not to the strong alone. It is to the vigilant, the active, the brave. Besides, sir, we have no election. If we were base enough to desire it, there is no retreat but in submission and slavery. Our chains are forged. Their clanking may be heard on the plains of Boston. The war is inevitable, and let it come. I repeat it, sir, let it come. It is in vain to extenuate the matter. Gentlemen may cry, peace, peace, but there is no peace. The war has actually begun. The next gale that sweeps from the north will bring to our ears the clash of resounding arms. Our brethren are already in the field. Why stand we here idle? What is it the gentlemen wish? What would they have? Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death. That's quite the same reaction as the first time. Well, happily my words and my dramatical manner in delivering said words did persuade a slight majority of gentlemen to favor my resolution, though of the 120 delegates in attendance, only 5 votes divided the assembly. We're a very evenly divided country at this time, in 17 and 75 and 76. Well, without wishing to appear boastful or immodest, those volunteer companies, those militia companies, or independent companies, if you will, did begin to form, not only here in Virginia, but word spread of that day like a wildfire throughout the rest of America, that inspired by those words, soldiers began to form to the far north as Rhode Island, where they, like many Virginia fighting men, were sewing or stitching liberty or death upon the breasts of their hunting shirts, adopting it for their battle cry. I'm given to understand there is something now in this year of 17 and 76 in 3 different of our states, to include Virginia, naturally, Connecticut, and South Carolina, who have something which is commonly known as the Patrick Henry Standard. It's a battle flag. In some cases, a golden yellow in color. In other cases, a black border around a white field with a coiled rattlesnake in the middle of it. Liberty emblazoned above or death below. In some cases, liberty or death above, don't tread on me below. And that flag is being carried upon a number of battlefields as I speak to you this moment. And finally, to conclude upon this head, it occurs to me, friends, that here in this wonderful city of Williamsburg, the birthplace of American liberty, we have just now crossed over a threshold into establishing a bold new experiment, a new nation, a republic, conceived in liberty and with the honest intention of justice under law for all men, not only the wealthy few. I rather expect that this experiment of ours will serve as a beacon of hope for oppressed societies all over this globe. But I am confident, too, that it will serve as the envy of some others. I warrant you, friends, there will always be those wicked forces, both from without of our shores as well as from within, why, within our own government, perhaps at times, Men who are going to seek to change our uniquely American way of life, which we hold so dear and so precious, to impose their will upon us and to deprive us of that precious jewel of liberty. When such times of crisis do emerge into the future, I pray that once again those words might stand for the battle cry. Liberty or death. For Americans, there is no other option.